In the words of the great Joey Styles, we have a Catfight! Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling, and that looks like exactly what we have between Amanda Huber and Sarah Stock over the AEW spot at Wrestle Dream that is causing a lot of people to lose their minds. Now, I made a video on this yesterday about how Sarah Stock came out and said that this was it too far. She said it was too far. The AEW need to stop doing this stuff. The AEW need to think of the kids. There could be kids watching this stuff even though it's happening late at night on pay-per-view. But she was coming from the standpoint of, you got to protect the children. You can't have children watching this. And I said in the video that, I just don't agree. First of all, it's on late at night. Second of all, it's pay-per-view, so you have to pay to watch it. Third of all, this AEW's got like a mature rating. It's for a mature audience. It's not like it's this PG or like universal rating where they are trying to center their product around like 5, 6, 7-year-olds. No, that's not the case. God forbid that a wrestling company tries to be a little edgy. Now, do I think that AEW go too far sometimes, or do I think that they do stuff that isn't necessary? Absolutely. But I'm not going to sit here and say that wrestling companies and movies and TV shows, that they should dictate their product and they should center their product around children. Could you imagine how shit entertainment would be? Imagine how shit media would be if you couldn't get anything that would perhaps like upset young children or cause harm to young children. So you can't, like movies, series, you can't get any fight scenes, you can't get any like brutal fight scenes, or you can't get any like gun fights, gun shootouts, or you can't get hot women because there could be a kid watching it even though he's not supposed to. So what? People are going, well, AEW, you can pirate this online, you can do this, you can do that. Some people upload it for free. Children can watch it the next day. So what about movies? What about movies that are like 15 rated or movies that are 18 rated? Kids can go online and watch them illegally. You can go on all these like illegal movie websites. So are they not allowed then to produce 18 movies? Are they not allowed to have violent scenes in case there's a child watching it? That argument is fucking bullshit. But I feel like people are going to use that argument to shit on Tony Khan and to shit on AEW because that seems to be the cool thing to do now over the past few years. Well, guess what? See, here in Fog Wrestling, we've been shitting on Tony Khan and AEW from the beginning. But I'm not going to jump on some bandwagon. If AEW does something that is shit, if Tony Khan says something that is asinine, then I'll come out and I'll bash him. But I'm not going to just jump on the bandwagon and take every opportunity to bash this company because it's now the cool thing to do. Fuck no. They should be able to do any spots they want. Again, if you look at the history of pro wrestling, if you're talking about kids copying this spot, you had Triple H bashing people in the head with sledgehammers. Albeit, but it wasn't real. He wasn't really bashing. Yeah, well, John Moxley's not really going to drown Darby Allin here, so what's your fucking point? Your whole point is, yeah, but kids could watch that and, they're naive, they're vulnerable, they could be easily misled, they could try that. Kids could watch Triple H hit Mick Foley with a sledgehammer, and instead of kids doing it as a work and protecting the person that they're hitting, they could actually fully swing the sledgehammer and bash somebody in the head and kill them. Oh, but that's Triple H. That's not Aid. Fuck you, buddy. No, anything can be blown out. Anything can be. You can stretch anything into whatever narrative you have, but you can't do that because you're misguiding people or you're leading people up. Bull fucking shit. Okay, if kids are retarded enough to try this, then how about you stop your kids from watching? How about you actually parent and make sure your kids aren't watching this? It's crazy to think that we need to somehow ban or we need to limit all forms of entertainment just in case there's somebody watching that shouldn't be watching. That's so fucking dumb. Honestly, that is like the dumbest argument I've ever heard. Yeah, but a kid could watch it the next day. All right then. So see every horror movie that's coming out. We cannot release them. See every Halloween or Scream or Freddy Krueger or whatever. Jason. We need to remove them all. See all the Saw movies. We need to ban their existence because they're a 15, they're an 18 movie, but there's a 7-year-old that could go on whatever solar movies or whatever it is, whatever free shit you get out there nowadays. Back in the day it was solar movies, I believe, but you get my point here. Kids could access anything illegally, and they could access AEW illegally, but they could also access like movies illegally and TV series illegally and shit like that. So it is what it is. I just watched Predator the other night. I want to be able to watch Predator without somebody telling me, oh no, you can't watch that because of this and because of that. Terminator 1 and Terminator 2, two of my favourite films of all time. I believe they're 15 rated. I'm pretty sure the first one might actually be 18. And I think the second one might be 15. But either way, am I supposed to never be able to watch them again in case there's some 8-year-old that's going to borrow a DVD or something like that, or watch it without permission? Fuck no. Anyway, back to the Catfight and the whole point of making this video. So Amanda Hubbard, who, I'll be honest, I don't like. I feel like she's sticking around like a bad smell in AEW because her husband died, and it's sad. I wish Luke Harper didn't die. Obviously, I wish he was still here, but he did die, and then Tony Khan offered her a contract, I guess, because Tony Khan's like that. He just wants to, the widow of one of my wrestlers, don't worry, I'll take care of you. And listen, I guess it's a nice thing for Tony Khan. If he's doing it for the right reasons, if he's genuinely a nice person, and he just wants to help Amanda Hubbard and make sure that she isn't needing money for the rest of her life, then I guess it's a nice thing that he's done. So, whatever. But now she's employed by the company. I don't know exactly what she does, but she gets a paycheck. And anytime AEW comes under criticism, anytime AEW's got heat, she does come out and she defends it. But on this occasion, I think she's in the right. I don't think this is a case of her just simply defending AEW because she gets paid by AEW. I think she's got a point here. So she commented on the criticism of the match. She says, quote, "You want to know what my kids, because I have kids, were doing at midnight last night? Sleeping. Want to know why? Because they're kids. My wrestling-loving kids. Want to know what they weren't watching? A match between two performers who are known for taking things to an extreme. Want to know why? Because it's my responsibility as a parent to know what they're consuming. It's cool though. I'll let them watch some old TNA stuff and they can learn how to choke each other out with a belt, since that's cool because, check notes, tits look great." End of quote. So, few things that she said there. First of all, she's right. Sarah Stock's tits do look great, and they look great in TNA, buddy. TNA. Tits and ass, cross the line. Anyway, I miss the good old days of TNA, but she was referring to basically Sarah Stock being a hypocrite because in TNA, she choked out a woman with her title belt. And it is the same thing. That is the same thing. Oh, Darby Allin's getting drowned. Yeah, well, if you're choking someone out with a belt, what if a kid tries that and tries it for 2 minutes? They could effectively end someone's life. So, how many times, every wrestling move, most wrestling moves, a lot of wrestling moves in the history of the business, if not done correctly and if done by an untrained person, could lead to serious harm. Like you see sleeper holds, choke holds, like pile drivers, anything that is causing someone to really take off, anything that's really causing anyone to come off their feet and land on like their back or on their head or anything like that, any high risk bump or any weapon spot or anything from like a simple choke or anything like that, could lead to disaster. So, I think she's right here. And again, she says that her kids are big into wrestling, but they weren't watching that match. And that's true. I think that, for example, let's say you have kids that watch wrestling. Let's say you have little kids and you're a parent. Now, I can't speak from experience, but I can only speak from just common sense, which most people would have. Let's say, and I know this segment gets criticised a lot, but I actually thought it was fucking great. I mean, why wouldn't you? You know, teenager getting to watch Lita in a live sex celebration, that sounds great to me. But let's say you do have kids and it's Raw and the main event is advertised, live sex celebration between Edge and Lita, and your kids are watching Raw. I mean, first of all, you know, Raw is a pretty edgy product, so you're getting, you know, you're going to get stuff on it anyway. But if you really don't want your kids to watch that main event or that segment, then it's time for you to turn it off. You as the parent, you can control that. You can stop that from happening. You can tell your kids, all right, we're going to go to bed early, or we're not going to watch this main event, or you can turn off the TV and pretend that the electricity died. At the end of the day, you can do anything you want. You're the parent. You make the rules, and your kids should follow them, I guess. And it's as simple as that. I mean, you get to control what your kids are watching, and it's your job to parent your kids. It's not the job of every single media creator. And whether it be wrestling or movies or TV series or even people on YouTube or Twitch or whatever, you know, there's a lot of shady shit going on in the internet. And I mean, I would be better off with a lot of this stuff not happening, of course, but at the end of the day, it's not on people. When people create content or when people make videos, it's not on them to think, well, is this suitable for kids? It's on the parents to make sure their kids aren't watching it, you know? It's like on Fog Wrestling, we're not going to stop swearing, even though I try not to drop that many F-bombs, but sometimes they just come out naturally. But I'm not going to censor myself in case there's a kid watching. You know, that's not on me. I've never said that, oh, this channel's kid friendly, it's PG, we do it for the children. You know, no, we don't do that. So again, it's on the parents. But let's get back into the back and forward here between Sarah Stock and Amanda Hubbard. So Amanda Hubbard then apparently texted Sarah Stock before tweeting that, and Sarah Stock replied with the following. Let me see it here. Yeah. So I don't know, somewhere in between there was like a tweet that was missed or something like that, and Sarah Stock quoted a tweet of a video of Amanda Hubbard with grief. I don't know, talking about grief or something like that. Or something. She quoted a video of Amanda Hubbard's kids. Then Amanda Hubbard replied to Sarah Stock saying, quote tweeting a video of me talking about kids with grief to defend your bullshit is piece of shit behaviour. I expect it better of you. How fucking disgusting. End of quote. Sarah Stock replied, quote, you got to be a little tougher than that, Amanda. One tweet should not send a person into a curse-filled hysteria. End of quote. And then Amanda Hubbard replied, quote, keep telling lies online. Maybe one of the dirt sheets will cut you a check. End of quote, to which Stock replied with a smug, sarcastic, quote, sing. End of quote. So, yeah, and then there was also more replies where Sarah Stock says that Amanda Hubbard was pissed off that Sting's daughter got to go to an event and she didn't. And, I mean, I could probably believe that, but at the end of the day, Sting's daughter, and Sting was more over than Luke Harper. It is what it is, so I'm not going to get into that, but that's kind of how the wrestling world works. The more over you are, the more opportunities you get. But, yeah, no, I actually agree with Amanda Hubbard that it's up to the parents' job to watch what the kids are consuming, and it's as simple as that, isn't it? I mean, if you're a parent, then you need to teach your kids, and you need to stop your kids from watching stuff you don't want them to be watching. And again, it is hypocritical. So Sarah Stock thinks that that's too far, but again, she was allowed to come out with her, and I'm not complaining. I mean, she came out showing her body off, looking great and stuff like that, and I think she's posted topless a few times. But what if the kids find her? What if kids find her pictures online? Because anybody can find them. So, you know, using Sarah Stock's using her example, then she's created content that's not acceptable for kids, you know? So it's all bullshit at the end of the day. But I don't think it was that bad, guys, honestly. Yeah, she said if kids try this, then someone could die. But if kids try a lot of wrestling moves, then there's potential for, you know, there is potential for a disaster, because a lot of wrestling moves could be done unsafely, and it could end in, you know, someone getting seriously hurt, if not worse. So Is what it is. I've no issue with it, man. I've no issue with wrestling trying to be a bit more extreme. Yeah, so I don't think it's that bad. But people want to hate and shit on AEW for no reason these days. Is what it is. Anyway, guys, that's it. Catch you in the next one. Let me know your thoughts down below. But yeah, I don't think Tony Khan and AEW, I don't think they deserve all the heat that they're getting here, but is what it is. It's pretty cool now to hate on AEW. So catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.